There's so much evidence for gigantism, and I mean humans as well. Gigantism spread throughout the animal kingdom, insectoids and whatnot, but gigantism once thrived across the world, human giants. And the reason we don't have so many different, books about giants, you can still find them, was because mankind shrinks over time. So do the animals, so do the plants and everything. As the pressure builds up in this world and our supply of life-giving gases and stuff and resources deplete, we get smaller and smaller. We shrink over time. This is the box that you can put big things in and they shrink down very small, which is portrayed and cartoonified in many different movies and cartoons and things like that. This is from Star Wars, and you'll see this a lot in the movie where someone gets power and things start to float up into the air or whatnot. There was a time when things were less heavy. The things are getting heavier and heavier as we move forward in time, until eventually there will be a pressure release and things will weigh nothing at all for a short time until equilibrium is restored to this world. And then gravity will be restored as people perceive it in the mainstream, and buoyancy will be restored to what it originally was a long time ago, which is a lot more buoyancy in our atmosphere, which means that things are less dense and things will be more lightweight, basically. So, in short, it'll be easier for you, the survivors, who have dense muscle structure, skeletal structure, even skin and stuff, to pick things up that are heavy in today's world, because they will be light in the world to come, just like as they were light in the prior worlds, the worlds that we have forgotten about, which is our world. Here's another example. This is Spock. He's a space elf, okay? Like I said, the elves come from space, or the elven race. They are called the Elu, which is why they're called the Elva. They're actually, that's not an elf. That F is just a Vav. It's just pronounced differently over time, but that means of God, or from the heavens, or the fallen ones, etc., right? Here's another giant book. You can find many different examples of these, in different places. Oftentimes they keep them stored up underground in reserve. Also tend to be like albino in color, right? Because they have different light sources where they're from. Here's another example, gigantic book with a gigantic map of Italy right there, because giant humans existed. And it was normal back then. There was a time when giants were not an anomaly. Short, tiny people were an anomaly. So they wrote about the strange, fictitious, tiny people, which is us. Yes, so that's coming back, gigantism. Here's an ancient cosmological view of the Earth. As you can see, the four corners right there in the middle. Now, I also want to point this out, because I see a lot of people sharing these and saying that this represents the entire world. Sometimes it may. However, there's a small scale version of this at the North Pole. This over here is a plasma sheath. This is the serpent with the fiery sword, or the angel with the fiery sword that turns every which way in the Bible, in the book of Genesis.